Hello and welcome to Dice and Demons. I'm Emma, and today I want to show you some 3D printed minis that I just got for a new game that has a campaign out now. It's called GridWars 2.0 and it's by TitanForgeMiniatures. And the people who reached out to me were actually from a company called Only Games, which is part of my mini factory. And they asked if they could send me some minis for this new game, for this campaign, so I could take a look at them and see what I thought, and also perhaps paint some of them up. And I have to admit, I was just slightly hesitant to say yes, not because I've never had any, I don't have any prior experience with this company or anything, so it's nothing to do with that. But it's the simple fact that I have to be honest. While I know that the 3D printing industry has, just been expanding rapidly, and the quality has just grown exponentially. It's been getting so much better and really, in a short amount of time. I still often have the feeling when I have a 3D printed mini in my hand that even though the sculpt might look really cool and the print might also be, of quite a high quality, there is just something about the feeling of the resin or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I very rarely feel completely convinced by the mini, or like really happy with it, or sort of genuinely excited about painting it. And so from time to time, other people have asked me if they could send me some 3D printed stuff, and I have said no in the past, just because I know that often when I get it, I will feel a little bit disappointed, not by the quality of the sculpt or anything, just the whole 3D printing thing just it's never really caught on for me somehow. And I don't want to say yes to people sending me stuff and then, well, not really wanting to paint it once I get it. But they sent me some photos of the minis, and I thought they looked really cool, and so I said yes. And I've just received these minis, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I have never seen such awesome 3D printed minis. They are so cool that, well, full disclosure, this video, it's not sponsored by them, but it has been, they have sent me the models for free, and they have also made me an affiliate link, which I will leave, of course, linked in the description below. But I've never seen such cool minis from a 3D printer ever in my life. When I opened the package, I was honestly, at first, I had just like a few seconds where I thought, is this actually a 3D printed mini, or are these made from plastic? That's how good they are. And I also brought them to my gaming club yesterday and asked other people what they thought, to see if it was just me, and everyone was really excited by these minis, and they thought they were of a really high quality. So I just want to show you the models I got, and let you see for yourself what you think of them, and then you can hopefully also help me decide which models to paint first, because I quite like all of them. So let's take a look at the minis. So this is the first one, and this is probably honestly the one that got me the most excited when I saw the photos. It's called, you guys, it's called Snuffles the Eradicator. How sweet is that? It's so cute. It's like a tiny, I don't know, cyberpunkish raccoon on a walking, shooting robot throne. I'm not quite sure, but it's, look at it. And also, I think all the details and stuff are just really cool. But Snuffles the Eradicator, you can't not love that, right? The next one is a very violent looking plant thing called Valkar, and I think it also looks like it would be quite a lot of fun to paint. And I just tested it out, as you can see here on the legs. Ordinary 3D printing resin is often quite brittle and doesn't have a lot of give to it, and this honestly feels a little bit more like a plastic, and so I also think it seems like it's going to be a lot more robust and not as prone to breaking, especially when you have some tiny little details and stuff. That is often a problem in my experience, at least with the 3D printed stuff. This one is called Laukuan, and it's a sort of dragon guy, and he has this really cool face mask, and yeah, I think he's really cool too. This one is also one of my favorites, and it's called Joseph Gunman, which I like. It's sort of a nice, simple name, isn't it? He's called Joseph, and he's got like a giant gun, and so he is Joseph the Gunman. And he's got so many cool details, but especially his face is really awesome. This one is called Joji Simon. I'm not quite sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. And I think he looks like he's sort of a robot samurai, and which is cool in and of itself. But he's got a tiny little monkey on his shoulder. Oh, and it's so cute. I really, really like this one a lot too. And again, you are actually able to sort of, well, of course carefully, but still bounce some of the smaller details around without it just breaking, because as I said, it's just a little bit more elastic than usual 3D resin, and it also feels different when you're holding it in your hand. As I said, it feels a lot more like plastic than resin to me. And the last one I was sent is this cool robot thing, and it's called Rue Carapace, which I think is quite fun. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it looks a little bit sort of like an insect with the eyes, I think. And again, this would also be a very fun painting project because it has a lot of sort of flat surfaces where you can do all sorts of really cool patterns and stuff. So I'm quite interested in painting that as well. Then they also sent me some bases. As I said, this is called GridWars 2.0, and so it's played on a map with grids, and so the bases of course match that, which I think is cool. I was also sent some different tokens and stuff, and I haven't really delved into the game as such, the rules. I will, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be playtesting it with my mom, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm not quite sure exactly what each of these things do, but I mean, it's always lovely to have tokens. There's just something cool about that. So here you can see each of the models. I just took some photos because it's a little bit easier to see the quality of the print and the details on a photo than on a video. And I have to say, I think these just look really, really cool. And now I need you guys to help me decide which one to paint first, because I mean, I want to paint all of them, but I also have so many other projects, and I want to do them justice. I don't just want to, chuck some paint at them and not do it properly. So yeah, I need to decide on like one or two, and so that I can actually spend some time and do them justice. My only slight issue with these models is that they come like this, so they don't require you to assemble them, and you don't need to remove mold lines and stuff, which is really cool because I don't much like building models. But it also means that I can't paint in sub-assemblies as I usually do. And I mean, it's not a big issue or anything, it's just something to keep in mind if you're like me and you usually paint in sub-assemblies. I guess it'll actually be a nice way for me to practice, because I often spend a whole bunch of time painting stuff that you will never be able to see because other stuff will eventually be covering it up. So yeah, it's not a huge thing, it's just something to keep in mind. And here you can see a picture of the game as it looks on the campaign site, and I will of course leave a link to that in the show notes too, so you can go check that out. I think it looks like a really cool and fun game, and I'm really looking forward to testing it out. As I said, I'll be play testing it with my mom, and she's a board gamer, but she's not into wargaming or miniatures or anything. So I think it'll be quite fun to see if this is something that she'll enjoy, or if it's more something that is cool and fun for people who are already into wargaming. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I am really looking forward to it. So let me know what you think. What do you think of these models? What do you think of the quality of the 3D print? What do you know GridWars from the first version of the game? Any sort of thing you have in mind, and of course, if you have any suggestions as to what mini I should be painting first, I also really want to know. So thank you so much to My Mini Factory and Only Games, and of course to TitanForgeMiniatures for sending me these minis. I can't wait to paint them. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, thank you so much for watching this video. Of course, if you like it, I always appreciate a like, a comment, and perhaps even a subscription. And as always, remember that you can follow me as Dyson Demons over on Twitter and Instagram if you want to stay up to date on my painting projects. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!